Google's, you know, since the late 90s, Google's been saying we want to keep the advertising side separate from the ranking side because it implies bias. And, you know, search engines like Badu, we know that people are paying for placement with organic results, but Google doesn't want to give the impression, ever, anybody, that there's a connection between advertising and ranking.
Right.
And they go to a lot of limits to make sure that people don't see that connection, that one doesn't exist, but if it did, that would probably hurt them really badly.
Yeah. And so that's why we're looking at ways to actually build up organic or better results on the organic side, not using AdWords, but through other techniques.
Right.
I use social media for that.
No, I do not. No Twitter or Facebook or any other. No, just
So
really.
the product that you're selling, you say there's only 3 competitors, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you could do like, you know, blog post or Facebook page related to it that might provide tips or, you know, something of interest to users of that product, that might be a way to boost as well.
And is this through content and also through links?
Exactly, yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I think that was really good. I mean, kind of, when preparing for these meetings, it's hard for me to understand kind of what the hot topics are and what people are working on. So I think David took some good notes, and we can definitely use this for future meetups for sure. So, all right, cool. Well, let me jump in. I think most of you guys, well, half of you guys know me. I'm Jason Cohen, and been actually I already put it.
Oh, okay.
Did you hit it again?
No.
Okay. So some of you guys know that I quit my job about 6 months ago and just wanted to kind of escape the cube, is what I called it. I don't know how many of you guys were here at the last meetup, but I kind of announced it then. This is a little embarrassing video, but I'm going to play it just to kind of break the ice here. And David told me to play it, so let's see. It's pretty embarrassing, but this is basically what I've been doing for the past 3 months for those that have been asking. There was about 30 minutes before that.
Look like Tom Waits in the festival.
Wilson?
So if you're out in the jungle, all you have is coconuts. You just saw what I did there. I hit one whack, cracked it. It doesn't taste good. All right, so yeah, it was. I don't like coconut. All right, so let me get this back. All right. So 6 months ago, I decided I was kind of done. I had worked 10 years for a company, and I mean, always on the side, I always had my own businesses, whether it was website development, search engine optimization. I did a lot of affiliate marketing, but I always had that day job that was kind of holding me down, and you know, I was driving through traffic every day, an hour each way. So just kind of, you know, got up enough courage, and me and my wife. I quit my job. She kept her job. She tried to quit, but they begged her to stay on and allowed her to actually work remote. So it is actually possible to keep your job and tell your boss that you want to work from a beach and not come into the office anymore. So here's kind of what I want to talk about tonight. Just, you know, some of you guys have checked out the website, escapethatcube.com. Talk about my initial goals, some accomplishments, some challenges, lessons learned, and then the future of Escape That Cube. So, this is I like this slide a lot. You know, 100 days, 5 countries, 60 blog posts, 128 comments. It's not that much. Some people get that in a day. 27 edited videos and $12,789. One amazing experience. It was definitely life-changing. I mean, just quitting our jobs and getting on a plane and not really having anything. By the way, this isn't really about SEO, so. But just having kind of an unlimited time to really just go wherever we wanted. We basically felt like we were 19 again, and could go where we wanted, do what we wanted, and you know, just have nothing but time on our side and just be able to go. So it was pretty amazing. It didn't come without a lot of preparation, a lot of planning, a lot of thought. You know, for 2-3 years we thought about this, and every time that we went to actually do it, we got scared and made up excuses as why we couldn't go. But here are some of the initial goals. I had a paper full with goals. My wife is a big time planner, so I had to kind of really, I had to do a lot of a lot of pros and cons to make, you know, to sell it to her. So, but some of the initial goals were just escape DC for a couple months, mostly the winter. I was tired of these DC winters. I was hoping you guys got more snow this year than you did. So I could rub it in, but you didn't.
It was very cold.
Yeah, so good. But the other thing that we were really looking forward to doing is finding, you know, traveling all through Central America and finding that one special place that we could either move to or retire to. So, you know, we would take weekends here or weeks there, but there's really no way to kind of understand a country, in my point, you know, perspective, than to just actually go there, live there, talk to the people, and be in a place for, you know, a month, 2 months at a time to really understand, you know, what goes on and behind the scenes. So that was actually one of our biggest things, is like, you know, hey, maybe there's a place that we could buy some cheap land, buy some property, and then build on, you know, in 5 years from now when we're, you know, kind of ready to start looking at retirement places. Another big thing is, a lot of you probably don't know this, but my wife is actually Latin, and she's been bugging me for 8 years to learn Spanish, and I'm just, you know, haven't put any effort to it. So part of this trip was to learn Spanish. We also set up a daily budget of $100. So that was actually more than we really wanted to spend. We thought we'd be well under that, but we were there. We were a little over $100 every day. So kind of what that tells, you know, people is that we were actually living for less than we are living here. So, well, a lot less than what we're living here. So that, you know, that's one of the reasons we were able to do this adventure is, you know, as long as we stuck to that budget, we could, you know, we were able to actually not go dip into our savings. We were able to live off of, you know, the monthly income that we were earning from passive income investments, as well as, you know, I do some consulting on the side and have some affiliate marketing sites going. So we weren't as stressed out as if we just totally left everything and were traveling. One of the main goals was to do a lot of blogging and work on escapethatcube.com. I had a couple different ideas and directions. You know, I thought I was going to blow up and be, you know, have 20,000 subscribers on my email list. That didn't happen, but it's a lot harder than that. But yeah, just work on that, have the ability to just meet people and interview people and kind of review places. And it was an experiment, but it was also kind of a good way to document, you know, for our own purposes. And you know, it worked out good because we, you know, have a lot of data, a lot of blogs to kind of go back to. And then the other thing was, could we manage our responsibilities remotely? We have a couple of investment properties. Could we manage tenants? Could we, you know, deal with any type of thing that would go wrong? And that was a good test because we were able to do it. We put a lot of things in place, but again, it all comes back to that kind of that planning. And then the last thing was just kind of enjoy some time. Both me and my wife have been kind of working our butts off for the past 10 years, so it was good to just be able to relax. Here's where I was working, so you can see. That was my office. And then when I really wanted to get work done, I would come here. No, I mean, a lot of the time we were, traveling, as I was talking to somebody earlier, it's almost like a full-time job, because every day you're trying to research the next location, and Central America is not, there's good bus systems, but there's a lot of, a lot of figuring out to do, and a lot of, it's not as easy as, the ride-on schedule here that you can just go out and it's going to be there on the metro. One of the things that I've been fascinated for like the past 10 years is whenever I'd go on trips, I'd meet these people that were traveling for a year at a time, or 6 months at a time, and I was just fascinated by it. I never understood how you could do that. And I always wanted to ask people, like, what was your budget? Did you save money? How are you doing it? A lot of the time I didn't ask, but I started, on this course of this trip, I started asking people, and just, I was like, either they'll tell me or they'll get embarrassed or they won't tell me. So my wife's an accountant, and everything is a spreadsheet to her. So she created this amazing spreadsheet that pretty much documented every day, every meal that we spent, all the activities that we did, lodging, transportation, and it was great because we could actually, luckily she did it, because I wouldn't want to have to go in here every day and do it, but it was a good way to really track how much we were spending, where we were spending, and then a lot of people have actually asked me for this spreadsheet, so it was good that I could just give them a blank spreadsheet or even show. A lot of people have this idea of, hey, let me, I work online, so I can pretty much live wherever. How much is it going to cost me? And so this is a good resource for anybody that's thinking about doing that. What we accomplished, this was pretty much a dream that we've had for a long time. So if nothing else, we kind of lived out one of our dreams to just go travel and kind of be like a backpacker. It was really interesting to figure out to learn how we were going to work on the road. I mean, really, every 3 days we were pretty much in a different location. So we had to research to make sure they had high-speed connectivity, and then also make sure that there was going to be a decent working environment at that next location. Because we were working half the time that we were on the road. So it was nice to figure that out. I mean, the next time that we go, we'll know the spots, we'll know the places that we can go work, and it won't be as challenging as it was this time. Met tons of people, amazing places we visited, and I didn't learn Spanish. I don't know if I said it yet, but I learned a bit more. But I just bought Rosetta Stone, so I need to start practicing more. The major challenges, blogging, as a lot of you probably know, is very frustrating and very discouraging, especially for a new blog site. When you write a blog and you don't get any comments, or nobody's really having a conversation on the site or giving you feedback, and especially since I was doing it for free, or not monetizing it at all, it was also it takes a lot of work and a lot of time, and it's the other thing is that I'm not a writer. I'm terrible at writing. It takes me a long time to write a blog post, and so I was spending a good 8 hours or a long time writing these blogs, and sometimes I was like thinking I should be out surfing or enjoying the day versus stuck inside the hotel. The other thing that took a long time was editing the videos. I have 27 videos that I kind of did of the trip and edited it all together, and each one of those videos took hours to produce. So that was another thing that potentially want to look into outsourcing that if I can. And then, believe it or not, I mean, everywhere we went, you could get connectivity. The question was, is it business class, and could we actually work from there? I mean, everywhere I went, I was able to connect to a Wi-Fi or check my emails. But oftentimes, one page, a page would be 5 minutes to download or 10 minutes to download, or Skype wouldn't even connect because it just wasn't fast enough. So that was a challenge. And some of these small towns that we were in, it was, I think it was like $3 an hour for this really slow internet connection. It was just, at that point you just give up on working and just forget about it. Here's some quick analytics from the site. I started the site in November, and you can see slowly hit the peak in February and then started to go down. Well, I was working really hard November to February 15th and then just got burnt out, believe it or not. I know it's not that long, but got burnt out, and then you can see how quickly, I stopped posting on Facebook, I stopped doing Twitter, but got up, was pretty impressed, got up to about an average of 100 visitors a day, and then and continued to get about 50 visitors on average per day. Again, nothing to rant and rave about, but I mean, some of you guys get more than 4,000 visits in a day, but I was kind of happy with it for a couple months worth of work. One thing that I was obsessed with is my Alexa ranking. Now, I know this Alexa ranking means nothing. It doesn't mean you're making money. It doesn't mean your website's popular. It doesn't mean people are even coming to your site. You could have, a 200,000 Alexa ranking, and maybe you're going to the website every day. But for the past 10 years, I've been selling internet infrastructure products, and one of the main things we look at whether a prospect is qualified or not is how low their Alexa ranking is. It just gives you a good idea, right? If they're below 100,000, they're doing something. It doesn't mean they're monetizing or making money, but somehow they're getting bots to come to their site, and it's affecting the Alexa ranking. So I've always just had a goal that I wanted to get a website. I wanted to have a website that got below 100,000 on Alexa.
What's the Alexa ranking? I don't know.
Alexa ranking it's a tool. Well, first of all, it starts with there's a toolbar, and if you download that toolbar, you participate in Alexa's data, right? And so they use formulas along with their toolbar to calculate the ranking of your website. So like Facebook is, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2, and Google is 2 or 3 or something like that, and CNN is 42, and YouPorn is like 8, and
That's because of you.
yeah, and but it just is a kind of a rule of thumb. It's kind of like a page rank where sometimes, I just learned this the other day, but
It's an algorithm of all of them together and then see where you rank.
Which website is the most popular on the internet, basically.
Got it.
so, but it means, to steal a word from it, it's rubbish. It doesn't mean anything. But anyways, it's been one of my goals, and so it was cool to see, and I was obsessed with this. Every day I put this in a spreadsheet, and I would track it. So, I mean, I got down to like 229,000. So that was an accomplishment for me. But since I've stopped actually kind of working on it, it's starting to go up about 5,000 to 10,000 per day. So I got to get on my Alexa ranking. I neglected a lot of things with the site. The social networking I didn't really do. I didn't comment on anybody else's site to kind of try to get backlinks. And then I just didn't have enough, I didn't add enough content. People were, like friends and family were emailing me, when are you going to update it? When are you going to write another blog? And I just got tired and said, you know what, I'm just going to enjoy the trip for what it is. So, some quick lessons that I learned. Blogging is really hard work, but it definitely gets easier over time as you build more and more visitors. They start emailing and giving comments, and it kind of gives me ideas as to different content to write about. It definitely has to be a topic that you love. I started so many affiliate niche websites, and I would do it for a week or 2 weeks and get tired of it. This one was actually one of the ones I spent a lot more time than the average on. But one of one of the real reasons why we're back, although we're leaving in about a week, but for another 2 months. But it was really hard to kind of be away from friends and family, and then networking events. I missed it. I couldn't find anybody down there that wanted to talk about SEO. And I would see events that are happening in New York, and I couldn't just jump on a train and go up there. So kind of one of the conclusions that we realize is that there's no way that we're going to be able to move away full-time. We're going to need to share our time. So that's what we're looking into now, is really becoming even more so workplace independent, so that we can share our time between USA and actually Panama is the country that we really fell in love with. So we've narrowed it down from the 5 countries to Panama, and and then just the last words is kind of having both worlds. So escaping the winters here and going to Panama and enjoying that during the winter, and then coming back here to see our family. So that's all I have.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I haven't paid any attention to Alexa in years. Years ago, I loaded up the Alexa toolbar. I don't remember what I was doing something, and I don't remember what I was doing. I was manipulating Alexa, and our Alexa ranking just got great. It really got great. And I remember I was doing this before I was going to meet somebody. I knew they focused on Alexa. They looked at our ranking and how much it improved. I don't remember what I was doing.
Were you going to your website by any chance?
Excuse me?
Were you going to your website?
Yeah.
That was probably what did
Whatever
it.
it was. And then I stopped. We had this meeting, these guys were really impressed, and I stopped, and Alexa ranking just dropped. I don't pay any attention to Alexa whatsoever.